A very, very warm good evening. This is Sonawa Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel, arunfoot. It's December 10th, 2024, and it's another Indian football discussion here on my channel. As always, those who might be watching it later on, if you haven't, do like what you hear, hopefully share the videos that other people can be part of our conversations, and of course also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are slowly edging towards that so-called 2000 subscribers mark, so I would love you to subscribe to the channel and help me grow the channel as well. So thanks as always to everyone who's here, who's helping out, and yeah, let's keep on, as I say, growing the channel and getting more people involved. As we want to talk about Indian football today, yesterday we had the draw for the AFC Asian Cup 2027 third and final round qualifiers. India are set to face Hong Kong, China, Singapore, as well as Bangladesh. Did a separate video on that. If you haven't, do have a look, do have a watch, in which I talk about those qualifiers and what kind of impact it could have. Not the toughest of groups, but also not the easiest of groups. But still, for us, we need to qualify for that tournament. I think that's what I've clearly stated, and I stick to that. And I hope we can do that and achieve that as well, because I think that's what Indian football needs to work towards. Not an easy thing to do, but I think it is doable, and therefore for us, won't be an easy campaign. But again, for Indian football, if you want to move forward, if you want to move ahead, I think it's a very, very important thing that we somehow or the other make it to Saudi Arabia 2027. Well, Zian, hello, welcome back to the channel. Good to see you. And as always, throw me your questions, throw me the points that you want to speak about as we move towards, the next round of ISL matches. Chennai play against Hyderabad FC in the next game. That should be an interesting one to see what happens in that match. And of course, in the I-League yesterday evening, an interesting encounter in which Delhi FC actually won against Trinity FC 1-0. So the first win of the season for Delhi FC. All teams within 5 points. XYZ, hello, welcome back. So it's as always, the I-League has been now for quite a number of years, actually been quite a close league, quite a contested league as well. So therefore that has not changed or is not changing. So therefore that's that, and therefore let's wait and see what happens. To me, always interesting to see. And these are the things, these are the topics to potentially speak about once more as we look forward to the upcoming matches in the Indian Super League. I can actually, if you want to go through the schedule of the next few days, and we can speak about what is going to happen. But again, interesting scenario in the table, and will be interesting to see how the clubs, how the teams sort themselves out in the cup upcoming matches. Chennai and Hyderabad this year, of course, tomorrow. That's an interesting one, because both these teams have not been winning games in the recent past. So both of them have been struggling with points, with matches, and they will both be looking to try and turn things around. Won't be easy as always, but again, that's on both these teams. So hopefully they will most probably be thinking that they can turn things around, but it won't be, as I say, it's going to be easy as the season sort of slowly, clearly progresses. And meanwhile, interesting to see how, in general, the teams do. Mohun Bagan, doing very, very well. Top of the table with 23 points as PFC. But of course, Mohun Bagan have played a match less than Bangalore FC. Goal difference better by +3. Punjab FC Goa, third, fourth with 18 points. Odisha FC have 15. Northeast Jamshedpur have sorry, Odisha 16, Northeast United and Jamshedpur FC 15, Mumbai City 14, Chennai 12, Kerala Blasters on 11, East Bengal Hyderabad FC have 7, and Mountain Sporting are bottom of the table with only 5 points to their name currently. XYZ says just watched Mitsubishi Electric Cup. Cambodia also employing original players held Malaysia to draw. Everybody in Asia strong or weak teams taking original players to become strong. XYZ, we've had this topic now X number of times. I guess yes, that's the strategy that most nations are employing, applying across the continent and trying to strengthen themselves and trying to be better than they have been in the past. And a lot of teams are trying to change things for the better. And to me, so therefore, it has worked for many. Of course, for some it's worked better than for others. Indonesia, I guess, is the prime example where most probably it's worked the best in the last few months. And on the other side, Philippines did it over a decade back, but now everyone seems to waking up to that reality. We've seen Thailand, we've seen Malaysia in the recent past, Cambodia, as it was mentions, and therefore to me, it's a general thing. So yeah, let's wait and see how it does. Hi Anurag, welcome back. So what is your overall feeling for India in Group C? It looks like it's going to be a roller coaster of a journey. I hope it's not going to be a roller coaster, because honestly, I believe, I feel that if we're able to play to our potential, and I would think that the question would be, do we have Sunil Chhetri in the team, or don't we have Sunil in the team? And that will be interesting to see. So to me, the question remains, how are we going to shape up, how we're going to play, and we've learned also from the last qualifiers. We won 1-0 away in Kuwait, but that didn't prepare us for the matches ahead, and therefore that is something which didn't work. So for me, every match counts, and it will not be an easy campaign, period. So let's hope we do the best. My head is somewhat skeptical, fears that Hong Kong could be a big problem, but my heart wants us to qualify. I think we need it. I did say that in the video that I made today. So therefore, for me, that's going to be the question. So let's see what we can really achieve. Dala, how are you doing? After a few days, I'm back here again. Good to see you, Akash. I'm currently in Spain, in the south of Spain, actually in Malaga. So I'm doing fine. The weather is nice. It's a little windy, but it's 14, 15 degrees, so quite warm compared to Germany. So in that sense, due to work over here, so yeah, feeling good. Thanks for asking. Do you fancy Northeast United FC to finish the top 6? Rag, yeah. If you'd asked me this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I would have said Northeast United are a sure shot candidate to be top 6. If you ask me today, after the last couple of matches against East Bengal and Mohun Bagan, I'm not so sure. Right, they've lost the last 2. Of course, next match is on the 23rd of December against Hyderabad. So from that perspective, Northeast United are in that mix of teams. We've seen now Mohun Bagan, BFC consistently getting the points, Odisha sorting themselves out, Goa sorting themselves out. Interesting will be to see what Mumbai City does in the coming days. So therefore, for me, Northeast United, I think, depend a lot on Aladdin Ajare if he gets the scoring boots back. Defensive stability as well. So therefore, for me, it's going to be interesting to see if Northeast United really get that ship back together again. Ben Ali has a lot of bit of work to do. And then let's wait and see. I would say they are a candidate, but they're not a sure shot candidate to be top 6. What happened to Gokulam Kerala? It's not looking like champion club at all. Akash, I think no one looks like a champion club in this I-League. Gokulam have done a lot of changes to their squad once more. It's not the perfect squad, I guess. I don't think that another conversation we're going to have. But Gokulam are one of those teams who are in and around. But again, Interkashi is for me the top favorite to win the I-League. Gokulam, Shimli, Deccan were for me the biggest potential challengers. So let's wait and see how this league really progresses. Everything is very, very close. One result this way, that way. Team moves up, team falls down. So therefore, everything to play for in their league. Hi, Rushabh. Welcome back. Yes, rightly said, we beat Kuwait. Everything looked set and disaster struck. We might beat Bangladesh, but who knows? World Cup qualifiers history might repeat, and this time against Hong Kong and Singapore. XYZ, that's all I'm saying. It isn't finished after the first game. It isn't over after the third or fourth game. It is finished after the sixth game. And if we're in the running after match day 5 and we have to score a win, we've got Hong Kong at home in the last game. It is all to play for us. So therefore, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that things work out for India. I think all of us should do that and hope and wish that we get the result that we wish for and want. The potential surely is there. The question is if we're able to do it or not. So therefore, for me, we need to learn our lessons. We need to do the right things, and therefore we need to continue to work very, very hard. And at the moment, it's not an easy journey, given the realities of the last 12, 15 months of how India has played and how the results have been. But again, the potential is there. I think this team is better than what they've played, and it's now for Manolo to unlock this team and get better results. If India failed to top the AFC qualifiers group, sports ministry should close national team permanently. First of all, Akash, it is not the job of the sports ministry to start or stop a team. It's not their role. And secondly, if they actually do that, it's a FIFA ban on us. I don't think we want that. So therefore, for me, if we get it, great. It's needed. I said it. That's why in the shorter video, I clearly say Indian football national team needs to qualify for AFC Asian Cup 2027. But will we in the end? I am not sure. That's the problem for us. We need to get the results, and that is something that we haven't been able to do in the recent past. And let's see. What's some highlights of Hong Kong and Singapore's games? They are way better than us, and going forward, creating chances. We shouldn't dare to underestimate them. Rishabh, I think I said that before the draw, and I stick to that. To me, no team amongst the 18 potential opponents in these qualifiers should or could be underestimated by India, given where we are, how we're playing, what we're doing. Our gameplay is an issue, our basics are an issue, our goal scoring is an issue. So therefore, even the worst of the worst, Bhutan, Burund, Assalam, whatever, we need to fight, right? So therefore, to me, one match at a time, and hopefully we will get the result that is needed for us. Interkashi will choke. I saw the gameplay. Either Dempo or Real Kashmir will win the league, my point of view. I don't see Dempo or Real Kashmir winning the league, to be very honest. Real Kashmir at the moment has an advantage with the weather. They will have to go away in warmer weather, and they will choke us every year. I mean, I wish Ishfaq the best. And Dempo, I saw in one of the match, especially the one against Aizawl, they were very, very bad. And let's see if Interkashi does it or not. But to me, they have the potential. It's done. Akash, a league like the I-League also is not about gameplay. I think this is something that people need to learn. It is about the results, and getting a 1-1 away to Real Kashmir is a good result. So therefore, let's wait and see. Heard Manolo had a meeting with Chobe. Any insights on that? Yeah, Rishabh, it was just a general catch-up between the national team coach and the president of the All India Football Federation. And they had a conversation in general, and Manolo had certain wishes, demands in regard to going forward in 2025, especially in connection with the AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. And they spoke about those things. And yeah, let's see if the AFF can work around things. It looks likely that we have, in most of the windows, the opportunity to play a friendly before going into the qualifiers. So let's see if what and how the AFF do that. That's going to be interesting to see. And yeah, in general, I guess also the president wanted to know from Manolo how have been the first few months. Again, results can't be making everybody happy. 3 draws, 1 loss, no win. So therefore, yeah, Manolo has certain things to prove, I think. But I think on the other side, in October, I think there was a phase when we were talking about Manolo potentially losing his job and go at FC Goa and not doing too well with the national team. I think that's something which has died out. He's now 4th in the ISL table. So therefore, let's wait and see how it works. Good evening, Ishan. I am doing fine, and yes, I am enjoying the weather and the food here in Spain besides the work. It's nice that around lunchtime you're able to go and walk on a beach, even though, in and around Malaga, most of the beaches, but the beaches that I so far have seen are all pebble beaches, but better to be able to walk on pebbles than be there and it's 3-4 degrees and close to snowing in Germany. So therefore, yeah, I'm enjoying myself. It's good to get out of that weather and and of course, keeping up to date on what is happening in Indian football. The scary thing is any pot one team will take our group happily. They will be the clear favorite. Vietnam, Syria, Thailand, Lebanon, all those teams would take it happily. Agree with you on that. If you see the other groups, it is one of those groups which you would like to see. You forgot to mention Tajikistan, so therefore all of them would take it. But yeah, we've got it. So therefore, let's make the most out of it and let's qualify for Saudi Arabia 2027. Any update on venues? Do you think Bangladesh games should be played in Salt Lake Stadium? Rishabh, too early. The AFF has to try and figure out where they want to play. Salt Lake Stadium normally would be a good venue, but given the current political climate, I'm not sure if it is the right venue. I think that is something that the AFF needs to consider. I think the AFF also needs to be very, very clear to ensure that the matches sort of stay out of the realms of politics. So therefore, yeah, let's see what the AFF decides. But again, the AFF is also indirectly has mentioned that they're in a situation where they're needing help from state governments to host matches. So therefore, it'll be interesting to see where the AFF thinks that this match should take place. So what is the general reaction of your colleagues when you tell them about Indian football? Is it disinterest? Are they condescending? Ishan, in the past, they have been interested, or even there are still people who are interested to know a little bit here and there, but I think, yeah, the reality is we haven't developed over the last decade or no, last 2 decades. It's what do I tell them, that we are a sleeping giant of world football, and the sleeping giant has been given an injection and sleeping even more. I don't know. That's the problem, right? There are a lot of people who want to tell you, oh, we've done this, we've done that. No, we are a non-starter in world football, so sadly. And that is very often the conversations that you then have with people. And again, with everything that is happening around Indian football national team, certain people here in Spain, certain people know the one or the other person who has coached or played in India. And those people have had opinions which they have most probably not made public in India, but sometimes those opinions are actually quite bad and quite harsh. With the current form picked up by Mohun Bagan, do they think they will be unstoppable in the Shield race, or they may get held back later this season? Well, then I think Molina has found something in his team to try and even overcome difficult matches like yesterday. To get Ashik to play the way he did, it was important, I think, for Mohun Bagan. Um, interesting to see how they continue to move forward. But they've now been stable for a while. Interesting will be to see Mohun Bagan when they lose a game, like many teams in this ISL have done this season. You lose one and suddenly you lose two or three, or do not win three or four. That will be interesting to see. But at the moment, Mohun Bagan look like look likely as favourites to be defending their ISL League Shield crown, with PSC most likely the biggest opponents at the moment. Apart from club and school grounds, does Germany have public football grounds? If yes, why don't we have the same in India? Yeah, you have public grounds. I saw, for example, here in Spain, grounds on the beach. So yeah, you have them. Public grounds. So to say, not to say that you don't have public grounds would be wrong, because I know, for example, in Salt Lake in Calcutta, you have those each block in Salt Lake has its own public ground with a walking track around it. Some are used for cricket, some are used for football. So to say you don't have it would be, I think, wrong. I think there are, let's see. Does ISL contribute anything to Indian football? Yeah, of course. To say that, that they have improved grounds, they've improved training facilities, they've improved the match, the experience, the infrastructure in and around teams. It's just that our the better foreigners are coming to India, but have they improved the Indian footballers? That is the big no at the moment. If Mohun Bagan wins the Shield, which I definitely want, the same story will repeat. They will put West Asian countries in the same group, same visa issues for foreigners. Why don't AFC come with solution? Akash, other countries face the same problem as well, and they're playing. So why should there be something done specially for Mohun Bagan? Who are they in that question from an Asian context, right? That's the question. Ask the question the other way. Why put the blame on the AFC? Put the blame on Mohun Bagan to sort things out. What is eFootball and why are we doing good in mobile version? Pranjal, eFootball is football on is esports, is computer games, so to say, in different versions. It can be on consoles, it can be on mobile phones, and I guess this whole PUBG generation is maybe quite good on playing on phones, and therefore we are able to challenge that. I mean, that requires no special skill. If you're decent to be playing on your phone, you'll be able to challenge, and that's, I guess, what is happening. So therefore, our players who are representing the country are doing well. Off topic, but on the top of your head, can you recall any Indian footballers who have played at a decent level and come from rich backgrounds? Karan Son is the only one I know. Robin Singh comes directly to mind. Robin has come from a good background, and there are a few others as well over the years who've had decent family backgrounds. Thoughts on foreign coach for women's team? Is it for youth women national team? U17 can tell more about him. Is ever looking at women's teams with better chance qualifying for media tournaments? XYZ, I don't think they've appointed someone for the under 20 and under 17 national teams. So that's what Joachim Alexandersson has been appointed. That's a partnership within the AIFF and the Swedish Football Association. So that's how it's come about. I guess it is something, which has happened also with Thomas Dennerby, most probably in some sort of form. We're helping the AFF in that context. And for me, that's good news. Is there any thought behind it? I mean, if you now see the way that the AFF has been running, has been operating, is there ever a thought behind anything? I don't know. Might be a little harsh, but that's my gut feeling at the moment. But it's good, and therefore for me, someone like him coming to India and working with under 17s and under 20 women's is going to be good because he has a certain level of experience in Sweden. Do you think the overall package lacking? That's why Indian player lacks quality. Yeah, of course. Well, we're lacking basics. We're lacking in technical abilities and tactical abilities. So maybe physical abilities as well. If I see some of the players here in Spain, we lack overall. Yeah, the packages we are far away from being a full package. I asked this question because Sunil was sharing something similar in one of his podcasts that almost all our players come from financially poor backgrounds. Yeah, that's a reality because I think the urge, desire, but it's not an Indian thing. It's around the world. If you look at players, look at Brazilians, you look at Argentinians, most of them have come from poorer strata of society. That's a fact. Even top players in Europe have. Are you in any way worked with AFC in the past? Yes, I have. XYZ. I was done different projects for them, but the most important one, which I was involved in, was the roadmap for Indian football. So that is what my contribution to the AFC lies. We need foreign coaches, U17 boys as well. Kamal, yeah, is a point, but again, the AFF doesn't have the funds, and therefore they're taking the help of the Swedish FA. Let's see, maybe there are other models with other FAs coming forward to help the AFF on this. My point is, why don't AFC do something for the war-torn countries? It's not fair to push any clubs to risk their footballers' life. Most probable solutions to come with neutral venue. They do that, Akash. Right? If they've done that, they do that. It's not fair. What was that risk? Should I open that Pandora's box again? Come on. They knew that they're going to lose heavily. That's why Mohun Bagan didn't go. Ask the club. At the time, nothing was happening. So don't open that box again. Do you think Ishan Pandita is out of form or benching player lost spark? I haven't heard anything about Ishan in a while. Honestly, I'm not sure. He's with the Blasters, but I've not even seen any photos or videos of him in the recent past. Yeah. So are you aware of what Richard Hood is doing right now? He was last at Bangalore United. Also, please get him on this show if possible. Not sure what Richard is doing. He was working on something, I know, but I haven't heard anything concrete of which entity he's working with at the moment. So the AFF just chooses to select coaches based on partnerships. Agree with you. Does the AFF put any thought behind it? But I don't complain because Thomas did a good job with the national team. Yeah. No, it doesn't. Normally, that's not the way to do it, I know. But at the moment, given the realities of what is happening with the AFF or what the financial realities, they are in a situation that have to take whatever they get. And Thomas Dennerby didn't come through a partnership. Thomas Dennerby was chosen at the time. But at the moment, the AFF is in that situation, and Sweden offers to help you in that way, giving you an opportunity, and take it. Which player do you think have quality to play in Europe currently? Kamal, to me, none. If I'm being very, very rude, all of them would have to work in Europe at least 6 months, 6 months, maybe a year to get ready to play in Europe. Do you think Europe kids have slight advantage when it comes to financial stability compared to India? Really, I don't know how the kids have more financial stability than in India. Don't know how to answer that question. Did you watch Sunil's interview with Smita Prakash podcast? He mentioned his wife got abused on social media by opposing team fans. Is that normal with football fans in EU? Is it normal? I wouldn't call it normal, but it happens. Let's put it this way, Rohit. It is something, especially I think around that Kerala Blasters game, it happened, and you saw also the way you were celebrating those goals against the Blasters. you know, and yeah, that is something, you know, it is sad, but that's the reality. What was your roadmap for Indian football? Who others you worked with on this roadmap to show interest? It is the implemented roadmap. XYZ, the AFC FIFA roadmap that was implemented. That is, I was part of that team which implemented that roadmap. That, yeah, ISL, top league, Mohun Bagan, East Bengal do the switch. That's the roadmap. 14 teams. Look at promotion, relegation down the road. That's the roadmap. That apart from individual brilliance, what clicked for Mohun Bagan Supergiant as of now? 6 clean sheets, key players injured, still top of table. Please give some insight view or your point of view on coach and squad. I think there are two things, Ogni. One thing is that Molina realized at some stage he can't play the way he wants to play. He had to sort out his defense. That was the biggest problem. He at some stage decided to put in 2 foreign centre backs. That clicked for Mohun Bagan. Apuya found his footing. I think very, very key to Mohun Bagan. Through the success of Mohun Bagan, that Apuya has found his footing. And of course, the individual brilliance up front of the foreigners, which makes even our players, so therefore for me, those are the things that worked for him, and he's been able to cover those suspension and injuries with other players standing up. Hi Harry, welcome back. Mohun Bagan is the biggest club of India according to legend Sunil Chetri. End of a debate. Shomo, I love these things that people will accept something when Sunil says this, and when Sunil says something else which you don't want to hear, people will say, oh, you know what, Sunil Chetri doesn't know anything, right? And this selectiveness. So I don't, that Mohun Bagan is a big club. No one's doubting that. Are they the biggest or not? Again, they're surely the oldest. And they have been now in that merger with the Atletico de Kolkata. They've also been the most successful. So yeah, that's the reality. Let national team forget that women's football downfall started with the breach of bio-bubble of AFC Asian Cup held in India. Again, AFF was also, let's say, irresponsible. Ishan, on the other side, I think see it differently. I don't think that the breach of the bubble is a fault of the AFF. I think that the fault of the bubble breach lies with the team, with the coaches, with the team management, and with each individual player. So therefore, yeah. So therefore, that's something which is a fact, and yeah, and we have other countries are doing a lot to develop their women's and girls football, which we are not doing. So therefore, we are where we are. Sunil in his podcast said you are not good enough playing B team. He mentioned in a statement during Sporting Club dinner. Yeah, but I've said that. I mean, I've said that, right? That he himself knows. So I don't know. He was honest. Based on current form, do you think Manveer and Liston should start as winger for national team? Zolo, I don't need to think about their current form because the qualifiers are in March. I said that yesterday. It doesn't matter what the form is in December. I need to look at what is the form at the end of Feb, early March. That is a decision. And if the players continue to play like that, yeah, potentially they could be. But is it? You don't know what Chankte is going to be in a form at that time. You don't know what kind of a form. Maybe let's say Jimenez is. So therefore, we need to wait and see which players are in what kind of a form to then decide which player starts or which player doesn't start. So this 2047 roadmap, who came up with that? You in contact with any of those members? XYZ, no. Brainchild of the president and the then secretary, and no, I wasn't asked. Yeah. And again, the whole thing to me looks more like a PR pitch than actually a real real roadmap or real vision 2047, because it doesn't involve the key point of a vision document should be how do you implement things, and that is not there in that document. So did you play a role in Gurpreet Singh Sandhu's move to Europe as well? No, I wasn't involved in his move to Starbeck. No, I was not. How do you rate West Germany compared to today's Germany team? Murali, West Germany did their thing, won 3 World Cups, incredible talent, Franz Beckenbauer, Lothar Matthäus, Fritz Walter. So therefore they were good, did their job, period. Sorry, 1 second. Seems to be the connection is lagging a little bit. But continue. So is AIFF following your roadmap? How do you judge them? They followed the roadmap in I think they followed the roadmap in regard to how to integrate East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. That's the one key point. The ISL was made the top tier. The Super Cup was implemented as a proper cup competition, but again, that has not happened. So that's one of the drawbacks. Relegation hasn't been started, so that's something that needs to be discussed. We're at 13 teams, 14 teams, even though I now think, when I go back, I think we need to, as I've done a few weeks ago, and ask the question is that, do we need an 18, 20 team ISL, or rather should we reduce the ISL? So there are other questions which do crop up because we've got a lack of players. So therefore, yeah, still a lot of work to do for the AFF. Bangladesh away match possible in this scenario? Ogni, I honestly don't know what should be the issue. If Bangladesh government guarantee you the security of the Indian football team, then there's no question. Again, if you ask that question, then in theory, for me, then if the Bangladesh government then asks the counter question of saying, is India safe for Bangladesh? What do we do then? So therefore, I don't think there is that much of an issue. I think that's something that certain people would like to make an issue about, but I don't see an issue. It's about football. Some people say Oscar can be replacement for Stewart. Will it be feasible? Someone will say Goenka has 8 crore, but forgot how can they pay 250 crore per year to him? He won't even come here. Harry, why? Oscar has now played, I think, 8 years in China. He continued to play in China in spite of COVID. So, huge credit, I would say, from my side for him to stick around. To me is, so therefore, I don't know if that is even a Algeno fan's dream. Remember last summer, Angel Di Maria, I don't know who else, Arturo Vidal, I don't know who else was linked. And then none of these guys actually came, right? Jamie Clark is the only one who came. I think that looked likely from the start if Jamie Clark didn't find another club. And now we're in this situation. Let's see. Do AFC Women Cup India might be a huge chance for you to create upset? It was. Morally, we didn't, right? We had to opt out because we had nearly the whole team had COVID and therefore we went out. So yeah, I think it was our chance to qualify for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. 250 crores approximately combined salary of whole ISL. Can someone do it for just a player? Mary, look at the salary that a Neymar, that a Cristiano Ronaldo is getting in Saudi, Mbappe's salary at Real Madrid. Again, salaries for Indian standards are high, but in a global context, difficult. Yes, I agree. I mean, in women's football hosting such a big tournament, you are the only team to contract COVID just to watch others compete. I mean, we could have done something big in that. First of all, that, and secondly, to say the others didn't is wrong. Every team had 2 or 3 COVID cases, so otherwise, I think that would be wrong to say. But um, to have, I think we had 19 or 20 cases of COVID. How many times this poor lad Vishal Kate has to prove that he is better than Gopit Sandhu for the last 3 years? He should start over Gopit Sandhu any day. Shomo, that's your opinion, but 2 successive coaches of the Indian national team think otherwise. Does America's good youth football team like United U20? Yes, the Americans do. Right. I mean, if we could have made quarterfinals, women's football would have got that much needed boost. European scouts would have been more interested. I don't know if scouts would have been more interested or whatever, but again, for us, it could have been a chance to qualify for the Women's World Cup. That is the bigger thing. Scouts and all that stuff is not, again, that's not the key thing. I mean, we've got now players in Europe. Is our team better because of that? Just ask yourself the question, man. No, we're not. So therefore, these are all realities and sometimes difficult. But again, I hope the lessons are learned. But yeah, I hope that's the dangerous word I always use, because we're not able to do it in a better way. Do you think if Indian women's improves and they play in the World Cup, will that have a positive impact on the men's football in any way? Yeah, because it will push football, and it will push football overall, and kids will start to play more football, and kids more playing football, meaning it's not only girls but also boys, and that would increase our potential talent pool. So from that perspective, surely if we play more football, it helps us, period. Nothing more, nothing less. It is something very, very good for our football that we would have more kids playing the game, and that is as simple as that. Do you think problem with Indian football, even if you want to develop a good grassroots and structure, do you think budget missing or lack of willingness? Budget is, again, budget is, I think, secondary. To me, is the desire, the will to do something that is more important morally. If you don't have the money, you have to find means and ways of doing things with less money. Simple as that. And I've seen some things here in Spain where you think, we're in the country of the European champions, of a former FIFA World Cup winner, women's FIFA World Cup winners, and in the smaller towns here, they're trying to work around it when they don't have, academies like Barca or Real Madrid, Atletico. Which football team was stronger, East Germany or West? I don't know. Not one big player that played for East Germany. I mean, imagine being so good that you just decide to form 2 national teams and both were good. The West was better. Surely, I mean, the West won 3 World Cups, so surely the West was better. The East's biggest success actually was beating the West in West Germany in the 1974 World Cup. And then Germany went on to win the World Cup. So that's that. Are you in favor of AIFF and understand tactics and tricks to ensure we improved our rank from 170 odd to 90 odd in respect has been a good move? Yeah, because it got us an easier qualification group and all those things, and we were in a higher pot, and we reached there, and Stephen got the team to play better. So from that perspective, surely it worked, right? If it didn't work, like now under Stimach, or now let's see under Manolo, if it works, of being in the highest spot, it'll be interesting to see. So therefore, for us, main thing is to play as well as it can, and at the time, yeah, I mean, playing Puerto Rico and others worked for us very, very well. With BFC coming out with a win in a thriller of a match against Kerala Blast FC, do you think they may have turned the ship around for good as they face FC Goa with thrashed them 3-0? Well, Zen, it is sometimes difficult to say these things. Again, they have one advantage. They play FC Goa at home. So BFC at home is a much stronger entity than playing away. So that's one thing. This Blasters win will give them a push, especially Sunil. So yes, BFC, I think at the moment, at the way things are looking, but again, this league is tight. Let's say BFC lose 3 matches in a row and suddenly the others win theirs, and then suddenly BFC might be in a fight for top 6. But at the moment, I would say BFC are a candidate to finish, finish maybe from top 2, top 3. Will we see a genuine fight against the Goans this time? Well, Jen, as I said, let's wait and see. But even FC Goa is better. So it will be interesting to see how both the teams do. When someone asks security issues in football, your thoughts on it, or they're hyping it? No, security issues should never be connected to hype. I think they should be addressed and looked at. But the question is always if there are these issues are there, or are there an issue? And I, it's become a bit more difficult in the last few years to differentiate between sports and politics, you know, and that's an issue. But to me, that should be done, and therefore I hope that is that. But security issues should always be taken seriously. And if, for example, there's a security issue for India to go and travel to Bangladesh and play, or vice versa, Bangladesh to come and play in India, then the two federations need to talk to each other and then talk to the AFC and find a solution to it. What was seen of football in west side of Berlin when whole Berlin was in East Germany, but West Berlin wasn't part of it? How do football survive in that part? Do clubs from West Germany travel there regularly? Harry, that's a good question. I don't know enough about it. Again, Berlin has its own vibrant football scene. Hertha Berlin, of course, played in the top echelons of German football. Blau-Weiß 90 did it around the time of reunification. Tasmania, Berlin, tennis posts have also been top level clubs. So Berlin clubs have been part of the mainstream German football, but lower level football, amateur football, you only play locally. So they would have played, in the western part amongst themselves. Why do sportsmen have variation in form? Is it a physical thing where they peak based on their body workouts, or is it a mental thing? Rohit, it could be both. It could be a physical thing. If your physical side is not working, then it becomes a mental thing. Sometimes it's on players. Therefore, I think the great athletes are those who can perform whenever they're asked to perform. Then did the other teams player that contracted COVID, did those teams withdraw, or only India withdrew? Only India, because those teams had only, I think, 2-3 COVID cases per team. So they still had enough players. Yeah, they had to have enough players to play to be able to part of the tournament. Do you think smaller club also create panic to big team incumbents like Sporting Club? I don't think they create panic. It upsets are part and parcel of football. So, yeah. Do you think Manisha Kalyan, Bala Devi, few players entered over their playing level? Yes, of course. Manisha Kalyan is surely a much better player today. Bala Devi is a better player. Aditi playing for West Ham became a better player. Soumya has become a better player. So yes, going abroad is always good. So earlier we would at least hear about some of our players get trials scouted like Brandon, Princeton, Chunk, etc. Even that has dried up in the last years for our young players, yeah, because the standard is not there, right? And people are unwilling to risk it because the players also, again, the salaries have gone up even higher. Again, if I would, again, I helped Changte with the Viking Stavanger trials with my friends. Why would we do it in today's surroundings? So therefore, this is a reality. And getting the players that I should try for Europe because I don't see them. Technically, with Hamza Chaudhry for Bangladesh, Fahim brothers for Singapore and Hong Kong having challenges to teams like Iran, India's only pot one team going in as underdog, Sri Lanka. Origin India certainly is not going in as an underdog. Certainly, as you say, there are other teams. Other teams are working on strengthening themselves, but India, in my opinion, is not going in as an underdog into that competition. I mean, that is totally wrong. Would be my thought. We need to do more. Are we doing enough? No. Sorry, let me just have a quick sip of water. Sorry. So my thought would be, we need to do more. Are we doing enough? No, we're not. Players of Indian origin is a topic that we need to somehow address. We're not doing that. But in my opinion, at the end of the day, we need to work on those things. And if we don't work on the things that we need, Indian football is not going to get where it needs to get. So therefore, that's a challenge that we have. We need to be better, much better. But as I'm saying, so this will be a challenge. But our players need to be better, and I hope will be. Indian players sitting in 50 of some random European country won't help us much. We need players in at least England third tier level to at least make an impact on national team. Pablo's animation, I don't agree on that, because if you see fifth, sixth tier players, we've had Ishan, we've had Jay Gupta as well. Those are not even regulars in those leagues, right? Where we have players at higher levels. So let's wait and see. I mean, our standard is not the best at the moment. I think that is another problem. Do you think today world women's defender playing long range free kick like Roberto Carlos Luis Diaz? No, the game has changed, Morally. So therefore, it's different. If we look at South America, budget is quite a problem in general. People or very local clubs or willingness for people is top class. That is what makes them better consistently, but budget also necessary here. Yeah, I was talking to someone actually who's from Uruguay yesterday, and the reality is that it isn't all about money. In India, we talk about money. It's about individuals' will, desire. Coaches will want to be better. Coaches want to create competitions, and that is missing. That is surely missing, and that is something which we need to work on. Otherwise, we will get nowhere. And therefore, that is something which is you know um, um, which is it's not working the way it should. But we need to learn and see what others do, it's not happening always. Do you see OCIPO players playing for India next 10, 15 years? Ishan, just 1 second. I'll keep on talking. I'll just put on the see once. It's a difficult one. So I would like to see it. Let's put it this way. I think it's an important thing for Indian football for it to happen. If you ask me, I would like to see it rather yesterday than tomorrow. But is it going to happen? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I can't see that it's happening or it's not happening. Because it's a general challenge, I think, for Indian football of many things that are happening or not happening. But I would like to see it happen because I think it will improve us. So let's wait and see. Do European clubs get funded through crowdfunding? Rohit, I've seen they've tried crowdfunding, but I don't know any crowdfunding club project which has worked. I think all of them which were tried failed. I think there were 3 or 4 that I've heard about. You said quality of player matters. Is quality kits also matter, like shoes and development process? Yeah, of course. Kit. Quality kit also helps. Right. Realistically, how can SAF teams can actually make it? You mentioned Bhutan improved, Nepal, Pakistan besides India. What is it? Very tough. Looking at the groups, if Sri Lanka pull an upset, that would be a surprise in my opinion, but I don't see any of the other teams outside of India getting close. There are 4th, 5th division players playing in Spain, Germany, able to earn enough money to sustain themselves. Asking for some Indian players have been playing there for 4 or 5 years. No, they don't sustain. I thought some big players who drop down the divisions, yes, they might, but most of the players don't. Those who are playing in those divisions in Europe, they are studying or they're working themselves, or they've got a family background that can afford that. Blasters will be the only club in the world suffering from financial success. The management realized that they actually have a shot at reaching net profit if they balance their books. Babalu's animation, they are not the only one. There are a lot of clubs like that. But the fans also understand that. So it is, I think at Kerala Blasters, it's about communication. Right? So therefore, the Blasters are a very special story, in my opinion, a great story. The connection that the club has created with the fans, but I think that connection that is there, how can you make it work? How can you, as a management, be honest to the people and not just say indirectly, just trust the process? Blasters can stop making loss in 4-5 years if they stay as a mid-table club. This hope for financial stability in future prevent them from going all out like East Bengal or Mohun Bagan. Oh, I don't think so. I think the Blasters, the owners give them a certain budget. The owners are covering a certain amount of loss, and then they say you manage with the money that we make available to you, and that's why they're doing that. So that is something, and if salaries continue to go up the way they're going up in Indian football, I find it also difficult even for a Kerala Blasters to try and break even. I mean, talking about these OCI players in future, will we see any quality there? What if we have a stretch of number quality players to choose from right now? We have only 4 or 5 max 11 quality. XYZ, that will happen. Once we open that PIO OCI box and allow players to come in, I think there are 20, 25 players who could come in. And then the question is, how do you integrate them? Who do you integrate? Who do you get in? Hong Kong and Bangladesh might be a big threat for us, I believe. Yeah, could be. Alright. In regards to long ball versus short ball tactics, it doesn't matter if the cat is black or white. What matters is the cat is catching mice or not. Yeah, right. Very right. Our football is at a stage, at a level of development of where it stands. That we need to try and grind out results. If you like it or not, that's our reality at the moment. So therefore, for me, the most important thing is getting results. Everything else comes secondary, in my opinion. That's the difficulty that we are in at the moment. That we would like to see a certain way of us to play, to win, but we don't have that quality. And therefore, we are in a situation where we need to find solutions, and we're unwilling to do what is necessary to get to that level. Yeah. So let's see where we can get, but I hope we do better. Do you think if we lose to Singapore 2-1, XYZ, let's not get far ahead of us. Let's see what happens. Again, none of the matches are played. Let the first round play, let the second round play. Why are we already talking this is going to happen, that's going to happen? Take it match by match. That's football. Don't go too far ahead. Don't plan, because football is not chess. You can't plan ahead. You have to take things as per how things happen. Can we simply say lack of focus on grassroots development, closing down Indian Arrow huge era? Yeah, already. So why did Jamshedpur FC share the info that they're earning profits earlier this year? Was it a trick to get a higher valuation in case they plan to sell it in the future? I think Jamshedpur FC first of all, they don't want to sell it. Who are they going to sell it to? It's a Tata club. No one will buy a Tata team. So that's one. Secondly, most of the sponsors that they're showcasing are all their own, right? So therefore, they are not anywhere profitable, not even close. Your thoughts on Qatar? They bring player all across the player and a half of the player outside of Qatar. Afif, my favorite. I don't think most of the players are outside Qatar. It's a lot of them are. Are Sri Lankan clubs not participating in ACL championships? Also, no Pakistan clubs, part of Bashunda over there. Yeah, Pakistan, they don't have a functional league, so that's one thing. Sri Lanka, I think, played the qualifiers of the AFC Challenge League, if I'm not wrong. Do you think if we lost to Singapore 2-1, maybe lost to Bangladesh 1 and lost to Hong Kong 3-0, looking at the situation, it's complete was a defense medical lapse of Afghanistan home again second half? Oh, as I said, XYZ, you're going way too ahead of yourself. Let's see. Let us play Bangladesh first, and then let's see what are the next match by match. Don't think too far ahead. But now eFootball is going on. India lost against Costa Rica 1-5. Yeah, Beneath, we had some very good results yesterday. So let's wait and see. Prediction of Atalanta and Real Madrid. Sachin. I think anything is possible with Atalanta being the way they've been playing this season. Real Madrid struggling in the Champions League. Who knows? Maybe it's an upset. Every day I see brown ballers post on Insta, and almost every day I see a different emerging player playing well at a high European level. It makes my heart bleed. Why not allow them already? Bishan. Yeah, I tried. I have tried. I will try. Now nearly 24 years. I've tried to bring in players of Indian origin into the ecosystem. But the government has not been willing to do that. Right, we've already been over an hour. Wow, I didn't even realize. 1 hour and 2 minutes already on this live on a Tuesday evening here on my channel, arunfoot, the Indian football discussion, another live discussion on the latest in Indian football. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. If you haven't liked, do leave a like behind. We've only had 11 likes so far, so I think we can do better. And we are at 1,985 subscribers, so thank you very, very much for that. 15 to go to reach the 2,000 mark. So thanks everyone for your support. Also do watch the shorter videos that I make and produce. Did something today on that we need to qualify for the AFC Asian Cup. Yesterday, generalization. Before that, Michael Stoddard does have a future at the Kerala Blasters, which has gotten over 700 views. Thanks for that. And again, all the other videos, just watch them. Even some older stuff, some nice ones in there. Even some interviews and stuff. So do watch them. So. Sorry, thanks for your support. When you think Molina is doing good, then how was it Fernando and how you look his tactics? Sorry. If you ask me, Molina seems to have learned his lessons early this season. Made the changes, got defensive stability, and again, defenses win you titles, so therefore it looks like he did the right thing. Habba said we have to play bigger nation, but we are nowhere to compete. In hockey, we are powerhouse, but certain European team can compete with us, but in football, we are nowhere near. Yeah. Already I've said that a few days back when Blue was asking me on that I think, nice thought from Abbas, but none of the biggies will play us, so therefore, yeah. Let's see. What do you think after first of all as the top 6? It's a mess. We've got some teams with 9, some teams with now 11 matches. I think it's still all to play for. India Dreams World Cup. Certain surprises. Bangalore FC is doing so well. Other teams, let's say Mumbai City, are struggling. So all to play for in this. ASEAN Championship teams like Cambodia, Myanmar, even Laos are giving tough fight. In fact, Cambodia aim to be champs. Do you think we can see Bhutan can emerge dark horses outside of Sri Lanka? I don't think so. Sri Lanka could with the players of origin, but Bhutan, difficult. Difference between Vidal and Rodri, who's your favorite? In today's modern day football, I would most probably prefer Rodri. Rodri to me is a more complete footballer compared to Arturo Vidal. Arturo was just more destructive, Rodri is a more complete player. We don't have good diaspora, which other countries have. We have 1-2 players that play in the third tier or equal rest, fifth, sixth tier. They are a lot better than the current players, but my Malaysian region, even Bangladesh have better diaspora. I don't think so. We've got players in the top tiers in different leagues. Maybe not especially Malaysia. Not Malaysia. Indonesia has got some really top class Dutch talent in there. But I think we've got better players. So Harry, I don't think it's a problem. They can get us above the level we are now, make a big difference, but other teams gonna get above as well with even better diaspora. Yeah, that's yeah, a problem. Owen Coyle's season with Vasquez comeback was awesome. To a certain thing, player quality matters to implement the strategy. Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be happening every season. Um, so therefore, for me, um, you know, let's see. Owen Coyle that season with Vasquez, yeah, was exceptional. At least predict top two, sir, please. I said, oh, top two. Again, to me, at the moment, Mohun Bagan, super giant look a given. And that second spot, if PSG remains consistent, it's most probably PSG, but I think it's still open. Where do you place Canada in world football? I think Canada is a developing football nation. They've got the World Cup coming up in 2026. They've got some great young talent. Played the last World Cup, so yeah, they're doing good for themselves. I think this diaspora player playing Swansea City, he no longer is playing at Swansea City. He's playing at the Hearts of Midlothian. You're talking about Yan Danda. Whom do you see Vietnam versus Malaysia? Also, can't Nepal compete? There two have foreign players beat Afghanistan. Also, can pass with Syria. Vietnam, Malaysia. At the moment, I put Malaysia ahead. I don't know if Nepal can compete. Yeah, they have they're lower level diaspora player as well. And Afghanistan can beat Syria. Yeah, why not? Yeah, that is surely possible. How is Rodri so good defensively despite being an excellent playmaker? This is very much rare in football. What other players do you see played similar roles to the similar level? Harry, I think, is a standout. I think that Rodri. I was actually talking earlier today about this. Name me another player of the class of Rodri, and they were talking about Busquets and all. And then I said, yeah, but Busquets had the advantage. He had Iniesta and Xavi in front of him at Barca and in the Spanish national team. So therefore, to me, that comparison doesn't work. So, so therefore, Rodri is a standout player, and we see at City, Rodri out, huge problems at Manchester City. So therefore, that is something which shows you the importance, the quality of the player, and that is something which other players seem to be lacking and don't have. Rodri is an exceptional player for club and country. I think they wouldn't have won the Euros without him, and I think he deservingly won the Ballon d'Or this year. Can we say Syria's second level best team in Asia? Morali. Today they might be the second, level, the best team in the second level. Tomorrow someone else will be. Again, I know you like to make these sort of, comparisons. I don't know. Is Sachin Tendulkar still involved with the Kerala Blasters? No, he isn't. Sachin Tendulkar has been out for quite a while. I think, was it 2016, 2017? I think that was the time that since then he's not been involved with the club. How has India done in the Women's Asia Cup? Is Indian team stronger than Saudi Arabia, Iran, Oman, Iraq, Women's football? Or is it we've not qualified for the Women's Asian Cup in ages? The last one we played because we hosted it. Now it's going to be bigger, so hope we qualify. You're better. I don't know. Saudi Arabia is improving quite a lot, so I can't rate them. We were better than Iran. Iran might be on our level, might be better than us. Oman, Iraq, I don't know what their women's football level is. Punjab has best foreigner signing like Luka Machin, 5 goals this season at age 35. Ivan Novoselic, who was defending against Ronaldo in AFC Elite for Istiklal. Marzilak is best defensive midfielder with our top notch. Marzilak is not a defensive midfielder; he's a playmaker. So yeah, Bakenga and Suljic are good for substitution. Yeah, Punjab team have sorted out, you know, their foreign as well. So let's see how far they can go this ISL. Can they become the first team promoted from the I League to actually play in the ISL playoffs? I think that's the big question. Can they reach the top 6? You said if political involves in sports, AFC will take action. Even if they take action, it will on the hosting team, but is it out of control? Sorry, let me read this again. You said if politics involved in sports, AFC will take action. Even if they take action, with the hosting team, but it is out of control. No, see, if it is out of control, then the question arises if that hosting team is in a position to actually even send a team, right? We had the situation with Lebanon, not going to play friendly matches. So therefore, the AFC acts upon what happens. The AFC is not going to proactively do things. It's not their role. But whenever they're called on, they will act, and they've done that. And therefore, sometimes you have to do smart decisions. It might be tough, might be hard, but that's for the AFC. That's a challenge in itself with a lot of things being very, very political these days, and not being easy for them also. So therefore, they have to be smart in how they call out things and interact, because that's a big challenge for them in general in football, right? So therefore, that's going to be interesting to see how they manage these crises which are there in the world. Why the team are demanding player from A-League with a high wage? Why they're not doing like Punjab? Sachin asked the clubs, right? But these players don't think they're coming for cheap, right? So don't think Punjab FC's got a cheap team, right? Also get that right. Do you think defensive midfield role is dysfunction with certain player only play both attacking and defensive? Apart from what your favorite? Yeah, your first task is to defend, or to be a shield to your defense as a defensive midfielder. But your second task is to create things for your own team. So that is done. Palhinha, Joshua Kimmich, I don't know, there are tons of them. Muslim profile show that is a DM. Sachin, I don't care what his profile shows. I can only say what he's playing in the ISL. Right? That's why theoretical profiles are nice to look at. We have to see what he's playing in the ISL. And the ISL he's playing as an attacking player. So therefore, I rate him as an attacking midfielder. And that's where he, Vidal, Zulic have been coming in and trying to make a difference. So therefore, that is very, very important to see. Again, theoretically, profiles are nice to have. I think Manveer Singh will be mentioned as a striker, and he's playing as a winger or even as a wing back in the ISL. So therefore, theory, what is mentioned in a profile and what the player does on the field doesn't have to match 1:1. So yeah, that's something to remember. When is Women's Asia Cup? Is India taking part? The next one is in 2026, and next year I think the qualifiers will be played, and India will be playing in the qualifiers origin. So yeah, that's when we need to get ready, need to challenge the others, and then hopefully India can play in that tournament and maybe make a difference. That's my hope. That's my wish, I guess. Do you think fans are very much selective on success but not accepting failure, or continuously failure make fans angry or honest? That reality matters a lot. There is no easy answer. The fans want to support a team because they want to be successful, right? They want to be successful with the club. Some fans also want to grow. That's a challenge also sometimes. So for me, that is something where I see teams I hope they move in the right direction. So that's a challenge in itself, right? So therefore, for me, if I see fans should be having emotions, should be happy, should be angry, but they also need to understand what the club wants. And in the case of Kerala Blasters, I think the biggest problem is communication from the club management, which is selective, and it's more of a PR message than rather telling the fans really what they're doing. And I don't know. That would be my questions for the Blasters fans. If the club tells you, what, we are a club which is developing talent and we're trying to even out our books, and once that is done, we will invest more. Will they accept it? I don't think so, but again, at least they've said it. And they don't do that. Valverde is also a good midfielder, the Indian from Madrid. Yeah, but he still has to get better. I think you realize at Real Madrid that Toni Kroos is missing this season, and yeah. Will AFC Women team take part in India? No, AFC Women's Asian Cup will happen in Asia, but India is going to be playing the qualifiers to get to the tournament proper. Should SAF definitely see a lot of SAF participants in Women's Asian Cup and India potential quarterfinals? Let any of them qualify. I don't know if anyone will qualify of these three that you mentioned. Forget quarterfinalists. Is hosting big event challenge always only in India or across the world because we have trouble in hosting Commonwealth Games? Hosting big events is always difficult, it's challenging. But if you see, for example, Paris hosted the Olympics, there was a lot of doubt about Paris hosting the Olympics this summer. But Paris did a very, very good job. So yeah, that's something which is a challenge, but yeah, so. How is SAF compared to Iran, Saudi, Oman, and women's? I honestly can't do those comparisons, Arijit, because I don't know enough about the football, women's football in the Middle East. I know that I think Nepal last year went and won a few matches in the Western Asian Football Championships, but yeah, don't know more. Was the first season of ISL better, playing quality in terms of Indian players than the current lot? Good question. Thinking about it, I would say yes. I think it was better in 2014 than it is in 2024. The Indian contingent, the foreigners are better, no doubt about it. But the Indian contingent, I would say in 2014 was better than it is today. What do you think Perez is best footballing president at the time? How he brings players and how he managing economically? Economically, I think he's not managing it well. So that's your answer. I don't think he's the best president of football. No, by far not. Which region in Asia is weakest in futsal? Region. I don't watch enough futsal to be able to judge which region is good or bad, but most probably it would be South Asia. Your thoughts, Sweden women team, because we frequently talk about US domination, Japan giving tough fights. Sweden women have always been amongst the best, right? So they are a top team in women's football. Which Indian woman team player do you rate technically better player? Bala Devi would be my top choice. I'm in support of the heavy Mohun Bagan Indian midfield contingent. Do you think it does develop a sense of urgency in the players to get a chance into first team, or do you think it is not good? players are different. Shivam, to me, difficult to generalize. There are certain players where you've seen they are better. Apuya picked up certainly a lot. On the other side, certain other players are struggling. We've seen little of Abhishek Suryavanshi, and he was like the young up and coming player at Mohun Bagan last season. Deepak Tangri has not had too many minutes as well, so therefore, it's in my opinion, it's a mixed bag. Joachim Alexanderson, good profile as coach. I think he does not. I mean, you said before this, I did not get his coaching profile, get his player profile. He coached at youth level, men's and women's. So yeah, let's see what he can do. Alexanderson looks a good one. Wasn't Chima Okere eligible to play for India? No, Chima never got an Indian passport. So how is he eligible to play for India? He married an Indian woman, but Chima never got an Indian passport. So therefore, Chima couldn't play for India. Yeah, that's sadly one of those realities. 1 hour and 21 minutes, guys. Those of you who are watching this live and haven't left a like behind, do leave a like behind. 14 likes so far. Hope you're liking what you're seeing. Then do share it with others as well to join our conversations. We continue to be at 1,985 subscribers, which means we are 15 short of the 2,000 mark. So do that as well. And those of you who haven't to watch the shorter videos that I've been making on different topics, and keep on supporting the channel. Thanks a lot as always for that. Hi Blue, welcome back. How do you rate Molina till now? I think Molina has done, after initial hiccups, I think he's done well. If you ask me from that perspective, he's done good. I think he was struggling at the start. Start was shaky, I would say. He was having problems at the start in the sense of that he was defensive structure wasn't working for him. Those road matches where he was conceding 2 or 3 goals. But he sorted it out. He was forced to play with 2 foreign centre backs, with Tom Aldred and Alberto Rodriguez. I think Tom Aldred has done very, very well. Has settled down in India. Was looking shaky at the start as well. So therefore, for me, let's wait and see. But Mohun Bagan look a settled side now under Molina. So therefore, Molina sorted his thing out. So the top of the table. So yeah, they've done some of the things right. Hey Ochud, welcome back. So news about longer training camps for senior men's national team. Is that feasible to this scenario? I don't think so. You have your 5 to 7 days. You will have a longer camp ahead of the June qualifiers, maybe even in September. But otherwise, yeah, you'll have your 5 to 7 days as is usual nowadays. Where do you rate Croatia league? Do you think Croatia rise started from 2000 World Cup or they started long back? Croatia started way back. The best finish was in 1998. They finished 3rd in the World Cup. So Croatia has been around since independence, since Yugoslavia fell apart in the 90s. So, in my opinion, he's not using the bench properly, and the attack is a little bit lackluster, except good. I think that's the point. Now he's very conservative with substitutions. Yeah, Blue, that's the point. Seems to be, even when the team is leading, not utilizing the bench properly, giving players more playing time, giving, let's say, a player like Cummings a little bit more playing time. The youngsters, he's not playing them, if not forced. Ashik has only had now a game because you had the suspension of Subhashish. So he's very, very, very that's one thing. But again, Mohun Bagan are top of the league, so therefore, yeah, complaining at a very, very high level. Can we see South Africa team better than us? Yes, we can, Murali. Other than the 6 Asian Cup qualifiers, we have to make use of the other FIFA days. Sadly, we do not have that much room for experiments. Unchut, very well said. Israel pulling back-to-back upsets. Morali happens, huh? Israel also has some talent and they can do that. Do you think Sunil is playing much better in ISL because he gets the chances from players like Ryan, but if he's in the national team, he won't be able to perform as there's none like that to feed him those chances? You have a point there. Well, you have a very, very valid point out there. Sunil is dependent on his teammates. And if I look at his teammates, I don't see too many who can do that. But again, yeah, he could be fed by Chante, he could be fed by others as well. Brandon is there potentially as well. So therefore, but again, still Sunil can create chances out of nothing. And we're missing that kind of a player. So therefore, for me, if I had the opportunity, I would try and bring Sunil back to the national team. I think if Rose not retired, Real Madrid do good in the season and Real Madrid is very dangerous. Yeah, you see, Toni Kroos is missing 100%. Valverde is not at that level yet. Could be in the future, but not at that level, Sachin. What is Manolo's reasoning of these longer camps? Seems to be wanting more time with the players, and I think Manolo is now talking like a club coach who's now becoming a national team, who has become a national team coach. And I think that realization, again, someone in the AIFF has to tell him that. But who's going to tell him that in the AIFF? So that's the problem. Can you compare Toni Kroos and Rodri? No, I can't, Sachin, because they're not similar players. Rodri is an out-and-out defensive player, and Toni Kroos is more of a playmaker who's been pushed back to be a defensive midfielder. So that comparison is difficult. Toni Kroos is more of an 8, and Rodri is more of a 6. How do you see striker with more technical and aggressive in case Kylian, Zlatan? See, Mbappe and Ibrahimovic are amongst the best in the business. So therefore, yeah, these are good players. You want these kind of strikers. Is Zlatan better in technical physicality and mentality made different? He's good in all of that. Huh? He's physically a top fit player. He's technically very gifted, and the mentality, he's a monster. Mural. Özil or Kroos, for me, it will be always Toni Kroos over Mesut Özil, if you ask me. Right? To me, much better player, much better human being as well, knowing him. So, yeah, it's going to be Toni for me. Right, nearly reaching the 90 minutes. We are in the 89th minute, to be very precise. Those of you who haven't, leave a like, leave a share, leave a subscription behind if you're new to the channel, or if you're watching it later and like what you're seeing, what you're hearing. 17 likes so far. Thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, that's very, very important. Is Sharjah a commercial partner like FSL Limited just broadcasting games? Uchud, I still haven't understood how that contract works. In my opinion, they are a subcontractor for the I-League, I-League 2, IWL, Santosh Trophy, and Women's Nationals. At the moment, they're a broadcasting partner, but I think if they can bring in a sponsor, AFF wouldn't say no, or FSL wouldn't allow it, let's put it this way. So let's wait and see. To me, at the moment, they're a broadcasting partner. But supposedly per contract, they're a commercial partner, actually. Shimon, I'm fine. Currently on work in Spain, doing fine over here. Hope you're doing fine as well. And wherever you are, and yeah. So yeah, these are the things. Again, reaching the 1.5 hour mark. If you want to throw me the one of the last question for tonight, throw them at me. I'll try and answer them. Tomorrow, I can tell you I will not be able to do a live. I'll be on a flight on my way back home from Spain to Germany. And, you know, that's something that hopefully, I don't know, Thursday, Friday, we're quite busy. Let's see how the calendar looks. So more realistically, Saturday is likely that I'll be back. Yeah, so that's something that I can say regarding the lives. I think to improve Carabas's FC, they need to build from central, not from wide, and they need to sell Luna and sign a 25, 30-year-old age attacking midfield, provide ball, good ball to Noah and Jesus. Yeah, could be an approach, but then the first realization needs to be, you know, the realization that Luna isn't good enough. Beckham, can we say at level of Kroos? No, I would rate Kroos higher. China development of their kids under 6 unbelievable. Their nurturing is better compared to us, but we develop later stage. Yeah. Sunil never played in any academy, got called by Mohun Bagan playing Durham Cup with the local Delhi team, as he said. How can you be so good without academy? And no one is better striker than him now because he worked hard. He wasn't that again in 2004. Sunil wasn't a finished product when he joined Mohun Bagan. He improved with time, learned a lot, and he learned especially a lot when he went to Kansas and thereafter went to Sporting Lisbon to learn. Sporting Club de Portugal. He learned a lot, and that's why Sunil is where he is today. He wouldn't be anywhere near where he is today if he hadn't had those opportunities in Portugal and in the US. So therefore, Sunil is what he is, and he was that local Delhi team was City Club. He was playing locally, schooled, and this and that, and everything. That was possible in those days. Do your Indian players are semi-finished products? Semi-finished is already quite high. Some of them are unfinished. Some of them are raw. Or some of them are at a level where you say you shouldn't be even playing football. Again, who's going to tell that to the system, right? That's a problem. That's a big problem where we stand at the moment. And yeah, we need to do a lot of things to improve Indian football. And in my opinion, that's the challenge where we stand at the moment with our players of the quality. So that's something. Now players aren't even close to him. I think, Blue, that's the other problem, right? It's commitment, it's working hard, it's learning, it's realizing. I think for Sunil it was a hard realization when he went to America and thereafter to Portugal. It's like, oh God, I'm the India captain. These kids are much better than me. I think that's a big problem. And that hit him, that hurt him, but I think he had to go through that. And that is something which most probably helped him down the road. They show reality how ISL is bad. Jesus is not at his good level. He always be injured and now he's scoring goals in all match. Yeah, Sachin. Can we say Japan team is better than African nation? Oh, Murali, I know you love to make this comparison. On one day, Japan will beat African nations. Another day, African nations will beat Japan. It's a give and go. Where will you put Colasso? Semi or unfinished? Unfinished. If you ask me. There's some raw talent in there, but there's a lot of things which are just missing to make him a complete player. So therefore, semi-finished, I don't. Who would be semi-finished most probably would be a Chante. But after that, it becomes quite difficult. Most of them are unfinished, in my opinion. Right. Does Africa produce top-notch players apart from Osimhen? Yeah, of course. Morally, they're producing players left, right, and center. Of course, they produce top-level players. And is Osimhen really a top-level player? That's another discussion we could have, right? So therefore, yeah, there's a lot of players that are being produced. So, yeah, that's something. I'll slowly try and come to the end of this live for today and tonight. As I say, always like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube or my other social media, so arunfoot.com. Support this channel as always, as I say. So that is important, and yeah, I'll take some of yours. Report of your players' thoughts on modern sporting this season, what they need to do, maybe, etc. First of all, their club officials need to understand what they're trying to do. And yeah, I think the team is not good enough for the ISL in the long run. So Sunil Sandeja only finished or semi or unfinished? I think even Sunil is not a finished product. If we're honest, there are certain things that even Sunil could be better. So therefore, for me, yeah, that's something which I would say. I don't think we have a finished Indian football. I don't think it's produced a finished product. If I'm being brutally honest, Japan players are very hardworking. This is not like Indian players want to play on as. Yeah, Sachin, that's a fact. Right, that was the last question I'm taking for today. As I said, tomorrow I'm flying, so there would be a live tomorrow, and then Thursday, Friday I'm actually on the road as well. So let me see how I factor those in. Maybe an early show, maybe a late show. But Saturday, surely I'll be back with the show. And yeah, as I said, like, share, subscribe these videos. This is Nawa Chaudhary signing off here from Spain with the Indian football discussion. Bye for tonight.